Hello everyone, welcome to bspsolutions.com. I am VP CRM with BSP Solutions, and in this video I am going to cover a new update which has been recently released by Salesforce Wave Analytics with the version 2017, and that's new update known as Dataset Recipe. So let's try to understand what do we mean by Dataset Recipe and how it can ease our data transformation work with Wave Analytics. So a dataset recipe is a kind of a saved set of transformation or steps which can be used to perform on a specific source dataset or replication. With the help of dataset recipe, we can run a recipe, we can create a recipe, we can apply transformations onto it, and whatever result we get, we can create a new dataset based on the resulted dataset. We can also schedule a recipe to run on a recurring basis to keep our data target dataset up to date. By using a recipe, we can combine the data from different data sources. We can modify the field values, which ensures us the consistency in the new dataset which we are going to create. We can also use dataset recipe to create a new dataset as a standalone dataset for exploration or dashboard creation, or we can use in our data flow or other recipes. So we have got a dataset, we have got existing dataset, and we can transform that existing dataset by using dataset recipe, and we can save it as a target dataset, and that target dataset can be used for further exploration, which can include into other further recipes or for data visualization. So let's have a look how can we set up a dataset recipe in Wave Analytics. So for this you need to switch to data manager, and before that we should have a data set already loaded into Wave. So as you can see here, I have got a lot of data sets, so I'm going to use one of them for customization, for transformation. So I click on data manager. So let me log in. This screen appears if we remain inactive for more than 2 hours. So then this kind of screen appears in front of us. So I have logged in and I switch to data manager now, and in data manager on the left side you can see we'll be getting prepare. So when I click on prepare, it will take us to the data recipes interface, and this data recipes interface, that is mentioned that it can cleanse, transforms and combine data from multiple sources. So in this case I'm not going to compile any data set right now, I'm going to transform a data set. So I click on create recipe, and in this data I'm going to use sales underscore data for transformation, and dataset recipe name, so I'll give as test recipe and continue. So it will load the data, it will load all the data from the existing data set. Now the transformation can be done. So as you can see here on the, if you look at the top, we have various steps for transformation. So the first step we have is to add a data. If we want to combine, if we want to perform data combination, we want to combine two data sets, we can use this option. This is for applying some filter. This is for adding a bucket in terms of we can add some exploration onto it, and this is for adding a formula column. So I'll do one by one. First of all, I want to apply a filter, and I'm interested only in those whose only for a specific product, let's say pencil. So I filter data and select a field product equals to, and it should be pencil. I'm interested only in pencil, so I copy this and apply a filter product on product column. I set as pencil. Filter rows, and you can see it quickly filters, it quickly displays only those record whose product is pencil. Then I click on add a formula column. So I would like to find out the 10% tax applicable on the price. So I click on formula and I write a formula here. Price is a field, multiply by 10 divided by 100, and click on create, and we can give the computed field name. So I'll say text apply, or let's say text, simple text, and create formula field. So quickly create a text field, and the 10% of 452 is 45.2. Now if we look for bucket, so I click on bucket. In bucket we can have values based on a range. So let's suppose my requirement is if the price is greater than 300 it or less greater than uh, 300, it would be marked as it would be say high, or else it would be treated as low. So I click on bucket and I set the range 1. If it is 300, name this bucket as high, else it would be marked as low. And we can map null values too. If any of the data we have got null values, then we can use. And I say click created bucket. So you can see because it is greater than 300, it is high. Yes, I think some issue with the, sorry, I got that. Why it was showing error message, why it is wrong? Because we are calculating this bucket on text. So I need to remove this, and I don't want this to be used. So I just click on that and remove it. And now I would like to calculate the bucket on price. So I select price and then click on bucket. So range for price. So make sure that we have selected the correct column. And if the range is less than 300, it should be marked as low, else it would be marked as high. And create bucketed field. So now we have high, low, high, low, high. This is high, we are above 300. This is less than, up again high and low. So this is how we can create it. We can create bucketed field. So any bucketed field, if you want to remove, because we are not requiring this one, this is on this was applicable on text, I was not requiring, so I can remove it from my recipe. And once the transformation is done, once we are okay with transformation, we can click on create a data set with four filters we have applied, the computer and filter rows, and click on continue. So we can schedule this as well. So your recipe would be queue to run immediately, or select whether you want to schedule it. So this would be if you want to run immediately only once, and if you want to schedule it, if we are using a huge amount of data and we would like to schedule it for that data as well, we want this to be applicable on all that data, all new updated data as well. So we can schedule it. And if I schedule it, I can say it will schedule only every 1 hour offset, or I say run once only, and I say run dataset recipe. So we got a confirm message that the recipe has been run. Now let's go and find out whether the new dataset has been created or not. So I switched to datasets, and in dataset I found test recipe named as the recipe which we define. And when I click on this and switch to values table, we can see period, product, price range. So filter is applied, the bucket is there, and the text column is there. So it's a formula column, that's a bucket, and we have applied the filter. So that's the filter applicable on the dataset. So that's the new feature which has been recently added into Salesforce Wave 2017. For doing this, for doing data transformation, we need to customize JSON previously, or we need to use some third-party tool for data transformation. But now it has been incorporated into Wave Analytics, so it becomes easier to transform data as required. So that's all in this video. If you have any queries, you can visit us, our website www.bispsolutions.com. You can write to us. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.